Howdy, guys! Still Sunday morning. I'm on part two of my workout. You can see I changed my shirt from the other video. I worked up quite a sweat. On to 1,000 sit-ups right now. Hey, anyway, like I said, in the spirit of keeping my videos along the lines of what initially wanted to do in positivity and recovery and motivation, I want to make one about relationships and women. Let me say this first. First of all, I'm not lecturing anybody. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm not saying, I just want to give you, I'm going to give you guys my perspective and my thoughts and do with it what you will. Okay. I'm going to be 54 in January. When I was younger, when I turned about 14, I grew a foot. I got some muscle on me. I actually went shopping going into freshman year. My mom took me shopping. I got some good clothes, some nice in-style clothes, and everything. And things just clicked for me. I got noticed by girls a lot more, especially after losing so much weight and growing taller and everything. And looking back, in the years following, I took advantage of it, or it was new to me, and I think I enjoyed the attention. And to this day, I'm 53 now, and I still look back at the way I treated some of the girls that I dated back then, and I feel bad. I feel wrong. I'd like to apologize to them face to face. Some of the things I did. I want to talk about like cheating, lying, two-timing, all that stuff. Having a piece on the side. Oh God, how I hate that phrase, man. Then I see actually people that marry more than one person, like bigamists, and for the life of me, I can't figure out what that's about. I'm going to be honest here. I grew up with my mom and my sister. I became the man of the family after my dad died. So I became accustomed to being around women, to understanding women and respecting women. Unfortunately, though, in my teen years, I wasn't necessarily true to that, but I've always felt comfortable. In my teen years, like I said, I've never laid a hand on a woman. I've never ever physically hurt a woman. One thing that stuck with me, one thing a woman said to me, and she might even see this video. She said to, she had been in a lot of abusive relationships with men that hit her. And, like I said, I've never laid a finger on any woman in my life. Never. I couldn't do it. I physically could not. I could get punched in the face and I could not hit a woman back. It's, growing up with my mom and my sister, I can't do that. What she said to me after stuck with me. This has been 20, 30 years and it's stuck with me to this day. She said to me, I'd rather be hit. I'd rather be punched. The words I said to her hurt worse than any physical punches or abuse she got. The stuff that I said to her when I was angry hurt her worse than any of those punches. And to this day, I can't thank her enough for telling me that to make myself a better person. And unfortunately, I wish I didn't, I wish to God I wasn't like that. I did have a way of seeing people's weak spots. I knew my own weaknesses and I could see it in others. And I knew it hurt me. And it's empathy. It's empathy used, it's for evil or bad purposes is what it is. Usually you use empathy to help somebody, to be more sympathetic, to put yourself in their position and what they're feeling and treat them better. And what I did was the opposite. I would think and look for what could hurt this person the worst. It makes me cringe right now. And, and unfortunately, I guess I was good at it. To this day, my conscience still reminds me of that. But we all learn. We all make mistakes and we all learn. And I can't thank, I thank her for bringing that to my eyes, for bringing that, to light, to make me a better man. Cheating. I don't understand cheating myself. For now, at 53, I see it for what it is. I know there's a lot of older men that watch my channel, and so this might not get to the younger guys tend to have more of a live in the moment sex drive. Older guys are think things through a little more. Our needs aren't as impulsive. I think we've learned. There's still a drive and impulse, but we've learned how to control them, and we now think it through the outcome, and we've learned that sometimes this is the important thing. Sometimes, all times, a fantasy should be left a fantasy. It's better a fantasy. People fantasize about a lot of things, but from what I've seen, what I've learned in my life is living out a fantasy is can turn into a nightmare. Most times, a fantasy is it's a very a lot of times fantasies are dangerous, odd, bad behavior, impulsive visions that you have in your head, and they stimulate you because it's probably a dangerous thing you're picturing, or unsafe or whatever, immoral. And believe me, those things are best left to fantasies. Living them out is not. It's not. From my experience, it's not going to turn into what you expect. So that's one thing I'd like to tell you guys. For cheating, I can't do that these days, man. Like I said, I think of the woman I'm with and how much it would hurt her. It almost makes me cry. Just tear up right now. I couldn't do that to somebody else, and I wouldn't want to. I don't know if it's come with age, if it's come with recovery, but just the intimacy, the smell of a woman, the sound of her voice, and being able to connect on that emotional level. Maybe it's taken me, maybe it takes men a lot longer. That's I can't just hop. Of course I find there's women out there that are like, wow, that chick's hot. Of course, but that's where it stops. And that's where and that's where you could fancy. The fantasy comes in. It's okay to fantasize, to picture a little something in your head. I know women do it, guys do it. I think it's a part of a normal part of human nature. And my opinion is, it's best left in your mind, in your subconscious. Let it go through, let it play out, and move on. Or even better, use the stimulation to go back to your significant other and realize what a good thing you have. I know this stuff might sound corny, but I mean it with all my heart. I found that I need an emotional connection. I enjoy an emotional connection. I can't just hop in bed with a woman like when I was younger, and I regret the stuff I did when I've had some good girlfriends, good people, and I treated them badly, very badly, because of my need for attention, my need for feeling macho, to get a notch when you're young. I think it's you get a notch, or on TV you see so many sitcoms. Almost every sitcom has a character, a male character that's a whore that just will sleep with, like Joey Tribbiani from Friends comes to mind, and they play that off as a cute aspect of that character when it's really not. It's really not. He's a lying, skeevy pig that in real life probably has all sorts of social diseases. If I were a woman, I wouldn't want to come anywhere near his stuff, man. And on TV, it's still portrayed as humorous. Oh, it's cute. It's a nice, and that's crap, man. And I'm going to be honest with you, because of the emotional connection, it takes everything I have in me. All my heart, all my mind, all my savvy and cunning, just to handle one good woman. Because they are just as sharp and as cunning as I am. And that's wrong. They're more, by far. So I have to be on my toes constantly. And I get a joy. I get true fulfillment out of surprising this person with small gifts. $5 gifts, like socks, for instance. Christmas socks and stuff. And I guess you learn as you get older. I don't know if younger guys will see this, and I suppose there's a lot of older guys that are promiscuous too. There's so many reasons just to you got to look at yourself and why you're doing it. If it's purely for sex, you might have a problem. You might have a preoccupation, addiction with sex. When we're younger, our sex drive is a little crazy. Us guys in our 17, 18, and I remember it could be a little overwhelming because it doesn't seem to it seems to be all you think about. And that could be distracting, but it goes, and you get more balance as you get older. as to what motivates somebody to cheat. A lot of times it's the man, his own insecurity. It's like, look at me, I can get this woman and that woman. I got two women, and that's all it is. It's a statement on some of a man's own insecurity, his own lack of confidence in himself, that he has to prove it to himself, with multiple sleeping partners. Like I said, and if it's not that, then it might be a true addiction, a sexual addiction, which is probably even a bigger problem. But it says a lot about the man. And as I've grown older, I've realized this. Your actions say a lot about you. How you treat other people says the world about you. Like I said, in these days, I can't. It's weird, man. My family, like I said, these days, I live a straightforward life. Some would call it boring. I don't have things I have to lie about these days. I don't go places that I need to hide. I don't do things that I need to cover up. And it makes life so much better, so much easier. And it gets to the point where I can't lie, man. I can't, and sometimes to save people's feelings or whatever, you kind of need to candy coat stuff sometimes. And my family actually worries about this, or in financial negotiations or stuff like that. You need to at least keep your lips shut. And I still have a problem with that. I'm very forthcoming and almost honest to a fault. But hey, between the two, I would rather be honest. And my conscience plays a big role these days. I didn't have a conscience when I used drugs. I really didn't. Drugs make you become so self-centered in your needs, what you perceive you need. It becomes all about the drug, and making yourself feel better. And to anybody else's, you'll run over anybody just to fulfill that. And it's a terrible, looking back, it's a terrible way to live, man. And I think now in recovery, I try to make amends for that. But yeah, going back to, it's better. It's really bad. Everything's better when you're just with one partner. I know it sounds corny or whatever, but trust me, I still regret the stuff I did 20 or 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I regret. I could have been a better man. And I know that person looks at me now as a liar, as that 18-year-old, 17-year-old kid probably still thinks of me as that person, and I'm not. But, so there's regrets. Don't do things you're going to regret just for short-term joy or what you think will be, that's the thing, what you think will bring you joy or fulfillment. Think things through, man. What brings you true fulfillment? What brings you true joy is being good to other people. Honestly, even to your own detriment, to your own pain, to help somebody else out means the world. It's something you'll remember. It's something that'll builds character. That'll make you a better person in the long run. I'm sure I'm telling you people a lot of things that you already know, but sometimes I need to hear things over and over again before it clicks. A lot of times, according to my girlfriend. All right, so be faithful and honest to the people you love in your life, and treat them how you'd want to be treated, seriously, because it won't go away. It'll come back. The conscience is something that will stick with you for your whole life. It won't let you forget, no matter how hard you try. All right, get out there and have a good Sunday, people. Thanks.